Hello, Helena. It's Emily McVeigh, Executive Director of the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area. We're here for this week's United Way Partner Spotlight with WorldLink, the Flex and Yes exchange students. And I'll let the kids introduce themselves as we go. And Jen Howard here is the coordinator for our local area. Jen, give us a little overview of the WorldLink program.
So WorldLink is a small placement organization for exchange students. We have the Flex and the Yes program, and all of these students are from the Flex program. They're former Soviet countries, and then the Yes are predominantly Muslim countries. And all of our students are here on a merit-based scholarship. So they've gone through several rounds of applications, interviews, testing, and then they're selected. So out of like 30,000 people, only 900 get selected every year. So they're the top of the applicants here. And they're all proficient in English. And so WorldLink places students in several states. I'm the only WorldLink coordinator here in Montana, and I am local, so I get to be with the students quite often.
All right. Let's start with you, Mia, and then we'll go around the rest of the group here. Tell us what you had to overcome. What was it like to be selected? What kinds of things did you have to do in the process of being selected to be a Flex student?
So firstly, I had to have my English fluency really good, and that capability to go to other continent and spend 10 months without my parents, without my friends, without anyone that I'm familiar with, to enter the other house and to stay with them for like 10 months. So it was kind of to prepare your brain and to prepare like physically and mentally to enter in that journey.
Okay, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Serbia. Serbia is a country in Europe, and it has a population with like 6.6 million people.
And what grade are you in at home?
At home, I would be junior, but now here I'm a senior.
Okay.
And I'm 17 years old.
And what school do you go to here?
Here I go to Capital High School.
All right. And go Bruins. All right. Ali, where are you from?
Hi everybody, my name is Ali. I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm 16 and I'm a junior here. However, I'm a senior back in my home school because we have 11th grade system.
So it's backwards from Serbia.
Yeah, pretty much. Our population is like 20 million, and Kazakhstan is the largest country that locked from the sea. That's the only
So
fact.
in the Central Asia.
Yeah.
So
It's
what was it like to prepare to come here? What kind of things did you have to do to
Well,
get selected?
My background is a little bit different because I used to be a martial arts fighter, so I had to trip a lot and be far away from my family. So I'm pretty much used to it. It's not a new experience for me. However, it wasn't that long. It wasn't 10 months. It was for a couple of weeks. That's about it. But so far, I haven't had any big troubles with that, like missing my family, all that stuff. I just keep myself busy. That's how I stay positive.
It's nice to have FaceTime and those kinds of options to connect
Yeah,
back to
that's
home.
true.
Yeah. All right, Nova, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm an exchange student from Mongolia, and I would be a senior in my home country, and I'm a senior now too, and I go to Capital High. And so Mongolia is pretty close to Kazakhstan. It's right beside Kazakhstan, and it's one of the biggest countries in Asia too.
All right. What was it like? What was the process of being selected?
Process of being selected, we had to write essays, a lot of essays, and we had to make a video for our future host family. And we had to fill out a health form and go through 3 rounds of exam and interviews.
So the kids go through a lot of preparation, a lot of testing to make sure they're ready to be here. What about the host family side of things? What's the requirements for being a host family, and how can you become a host parent?
So host families, they do an online application and have to submit a background check. And then I do a home interview and talk with everybody who lives in the home. And then at that point, once everything clears, they can start looking at profiles of students and select their student. And then once they select their student, the requirements for the rest of the year, they need to provide 3 meals a day, reliable transportation to and from school, the student's own bed. They can share a room with same gender, similar age host sibling, and then just a good nurturing family that they can stay for the 10 months here with.
They let me do it. Anybody can do it.
Yes, yes, and you were wonderful, so.
I always just said, we're required to feed you. No,
Yes, yes.
Ollie, how has being an exchange student impacted you? How's the U.S. impacted you?
It's a really good question. Well, first of all, I've learned how to properly spend money.
Good one.
Time management, finding new friends, being initiative in any places where you go. It can be school, your family, whatever is that place. So you gotta stay as a leader and take the initiative to do something, get friends, find new relatives. I don't know. It's just something that helps you to find your new sides of your characteristics, and I would say meet some amazing people. As you can see, I'm sitting here with some amazing people.
And you were a lot shyer when you got here, I will say that. You were a lot more shy day one. I'll give you credit for coming out of your shell. How about you? How's it impacted you?
I became more responsible in terms of saying the thing I'm going to do and actually doing it, and not just talking about it all the time. And then I also learned how to be more independent and budget my money correctly so that I don't run out of money. And then, I learned how to network with people better, and then talk to people better, and then just be more open to people around me.
How about you?
I learned new problem-solving skills to get out of my comfort zone and to approach people and to tell them who I am and to ask them who they are and to meet each other. And the outcome of the program will actually can be seen after the program, and further in my life I would see the results of this whole program.
Sure. All right. So how many different countries do the Flex and Yes kids come from?
So for Flex, there's 22 different countries. And like I said, those are former Soviet countries. And then the Yes program has 38 countries, and those are countries with a high Muslim population.
Okay.
So.
They're from Europe, Asia,
Africa.
Mm-hmm. And we learn a lot about different cultures as the kids come through.
Oh my goodness,
it's
yes.
really, really cool. Yeah. So where did I start last time? I guess it's Nova's turn to start.
Okay.
What are the expectations of an exchange student? Maybe how is that different from your expectations at home?
So definitely you have to be more responsible in terms of doing things, and then you need to volunteer at least a 30-hour volunteering, and then you need to be good at your subjects classes, and then you have to have a good grades. Then you cannot get in trouble. That's the most important part. And then I think you have to be initiative, and then open, responsible. Yeah.
All right. Anything to add there?
Open-minded to any like group of people that you meet, and
Because
especially
what's the slogan? What's
not better, not worse, just different.
right?
Because like you may experience a lot of not like not troubles, but like new things that are different than your culture, and you have to be open-minded to interpret new things and to agree with it in most of the times, and to say, okay, it's another culture, I'll just take that, maybe it's different, but like we are here to experience something new.
How about you, Ali?
Well, it's all being said. Be yourself. Show your culture. Do your best to create some thoughts about your country, the good thoughts. It's not about developing tourism in your country, obviously, but you are here. The purpose of the program is for students come here and share their cultures, share their knowledge, share what they can do, and learn something new. This is the expectations of every exchange student that come to US. So I would say that's pretty much it. Being yourself is the most important thing, I would say.
Very good. And then what can host families expect to gain from being a host family? Or
Really the biggest thing is you're gaining like another family member. You're creating that lifelong relationship with the students, and it's so much easier to keep in contact with them now versus when we first started, it was like all email. But we keep in contact with all of our students that we've had in the past, and Instagram, all the social medias make it so much easier to keep up with them, to see how they're still doing, and for them to check in with us. But other than that,
it's hard because the time difference is
yes.
exactly the opposite.
It is. So try to get on and like actually like FaceTiming and doing live video is a little harder. You have to coordinate that a little bit better. But really, like we're also sharing our American culture with them, and then we're learning about their culture too. So it's just really neat to like kind of like go through the different list of countries and like, oh, I've never heard of this country, and maybe select a student from Tajikistan, and figure out where that's on the map and learn about their culture, eat their food, and share your culture.
That is one of the best parts, is getting to eat all the different kinds of food. And learning about all and it is interesting too, because when we're cooking with the kids, a lot of times we'll be cooking a dish and we'll go, oh, that's just pasties, or that's actually fried bread. Like we actually have the same dishes or very similar things, but we call it different things. And we really then learn how similar our cultures are and our worlds are. So that is a fun thing too.
Yeah.
And especially our kids from like Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, and that tribal connection to the Native Americans and the nomads of their countries, and just a lot of things that connect Montana and those areas of Central Asia. Just a lot of things that we learned that we may not have known before.
You wonder, like, how are you guys so similar when you're so far apart?
It is. Yeah, it is nice to be able to connect over all the different forms of social media. It is hard to send your kid halfway around the world and just let that go again. But it is nice to have the connections. But so looking for host families for next school year already?
Yes, we're already starting that process. So it'll take probably a couple weeks to kind of get everything situated once you decide to become a host family. And we're getting our profiles of our new students coming out very soon. So we're looking for students for Helena High, Capitol High, and East Helena High as well.
Great. So if they are interested, how would they get a hold of you?
You can email me at jen.worldlink@gmail.com, or my number's up there on the screen as well, 931-216-6122.
Okay.
Or even our website, worldlinkinc.org.
Yeah. Anything really important we forgot to say?
I don't think
I think
so.
we covered a lot.
Yeah, it's just an experience that I know is very daunting for people to even consider at first, but once you do it, you're like, that wasn't so bad. That was actually a great experience. So I just encourage people to, take that step. I mean, we've got teenagers coming to a completely different country, not knowing anybody here, and they're doing something big and brave. So I just,
That's what I always tell people. If they can do something that brave, you can do
yes,
something.
yes.
And I always say, if I had started when my kids were younger
Mm-hmm.
and not when my kids were all adults,
Right.
I would be doing it year after year.
Mhm.
It's just a lot different when you're an empty nester and then you start bringing teenagers
Right.
back in.
You're like starting again. Yes.
Yeah. But if you have kids at home, you can fit another one right in very
Right.
easily.
We
No
started
problem.
when my oldest was only in kindergarten. A lot of people think, oh, I don't have like middle school, high school age kids, but we started when my daughter was kindergarten, and they had a really great relationship with our students then, even being little. So,
Mhm. Yep. The time is now. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for
all
coming.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helena. We'll see you again next week.